One sunny day, Rheneas was on his way to the transfer yards. Mr. Percival had a special job for him. Rheneas popped into the yards where Mr. Percival was waiting. "Rheneas, you are to take a train of slate to Tom's at the wharf." "Yes, sir," said Rheneas, and he went to change tracks. He was coupled up to the trucks and puffed on his way to the wharf. On his way he passed Skarloey, who was taking on water. Rheneas was pleased to see his friend. "Hello," said Rheneas, but Skarloey wasn't pleased at all. He was upset. "What's wrong?" asked Rheneas. "I'm puffed out," said Skarloey sadly. "I've had a lot of jobs to do today, and I haven't had a chance to have a rest. I have to take work to the Clyde Railway, then I have to collect coal and deliver it to the wharf." As soon as Skarloey had taken on enough water, he puffed away feeling very sad. Rheneas felt sorry for Skarloey. Then he had an idea. "I'm going to the wharf," he thought. "I could take Skarloey's trucks for him. He'll be pleased when he sees his delivery has been made." So he puffed carefully back to the transfer yards. When he arrived back at the transfer yards, Peter Sam was waiting. He was surprised to see Rheneas. "What are you doing here?" he asked. Rheneas told Peter Sam all about Skarloey and his coal trucks. "I'm going to deliver his coal trucks for him," said Rheneas. "He'll be pleased when he sees his job has been done." "Why don't you just ask Skarloey if you can deliver them?" said Peter Sam. "I'm sure he wouldn't mind." But Rheneas thought that was a silly idea. "Don't worry, I'll have these trucks delivered in no time." Before Peter Sam could answer, Rheneas backed up to Skarloey's coal trucks. He biffed them hard. Biff, bang, biff, bang. Soon the train was ready and he puffed away to the wharf. Soon Rheneas came to a steep hill. The train was heavy and Rheneas started to slow down. Then he came to a stop. "Bust my buffers!" he cried. "I can't take my load as well as Skarloey's. They're too heavy." Rheneas backed his train slowly down the hill. He reversed Skarloey's coal trucks into a siding. A workman uncoupled them, and Rheneas knew what he had to do. "I'll deliver my trucks first, and then come back for Skarloey's." So Rheneas set off back up the hill to the wharf. Thomas was waiting at the wharf. He was waiting for the slate trucks. Rheneas arrived, better late than never. Rheneas reached a big cloud of steam. "What's wrong, Rheneas?" asked Thomas. Rheneas told Thomas all about Skarloey and his coal trucks. "I'm going to deliver Skarloey's coal trucks for him," said Rheneas. "Shouldn't you ask Skarloey first?" asked Thomas. "If you ask, I'm sure he wouldn't mind." "Don't worry," said Rheneas. "I'll be all right. Skarloey will be pleased when he sees his coal trucks have been delivered." But Thomas wasn't at all sure, and before he could answer, Rheneas puffed away. He raced back to find Skarloey's coal trucks. But then there was trouble. When he arrived to find the coal trucks, he noticed they weren't there. They had disappeared. "Bust my buffers," said Rheneas. "Where have the trucks gone?" Rheneas was sure he left the trucks in the siding. "I'll have to go find them," he puffed. "I can't let Skarloey down," and he raced off as fast as he could. Rheneas raced back to the transfer yards. He thought someone might have found the trucks and took them back. So he decided to check there first. "I hope Skarloey's trucks are back at the yards," he thought to himself. But then he had to stop to signal. "Bother!" he puffed. Then Skarloey raced up towards him. "My trucks have disappeared," he puffed. "I can't find them, Rheneas. I'll have to go and find Mr. Percival and tell him what's happened." Before Rheneas could answer, Skarloey puffed away. Rheneas felt bad. Skarloey's coal trucks had disappeared, and it was all his fault. He knew what he had to do. As he puffed back to the transfer yards, he had a thought. I'll ask everyone and see if they know if they've seen Skarloey's trucks, he thought. He was sure his friends could help. When he popped back into the yards, Mighty Max, Sir Handel and Rusty were there. Rheneas was very upset. Help! He cried. Skarloey's coal trucks are missing, and I don't know where they are. Please, can you help me find them? Of course we can, said Sir Handel. Leave it to us, said Rusty. But then they heard a whistle. Peter Sam puffed in with the missing coal trucks. I found these trucks at the bottom of the hill. Do you know who left them there? Peter Sam, said Rheneas. You shouldn't have taken the trucks. I was looking for them. I'm sorry, said Peter Sam, but I didn't want you to get into trouble. But then Rheneas saw Skarloey puffed in with Mr. Percival. You told me the trucks were missing, Skarloey, said Mr. Percival. So did I, said Skarloey. They were, sir, said Rheneas. It was my fault. I wanted to deliver Skarloey's coal trucks for him. He was tired, so I decided to help. But the train was too heavy for my trucks and Skarloey's, so I left Skarloey's trucks and delivered mine. But when I came back, Skarloey's coal trucks had disappeared. I only took the trucks from you, said Peter Sam, because I didn't want Skarloey to get into trouble with Mr. Percival. I'm sorry, sir, said Rheneas. I only wanted to help. I know, Rheneas, said Mr. Percival. But if you had asked Skarloey first, then you wouldn't have had this trouble. It's really important to ask first, said Mighty. Then you'll know if it's okay to take someone else's train, said Sir Handel. It's a very important lesson to learn, said Peter Sam. Rheneas knew the other engines were right, so he took a deep breath and asked Skarloey. Skarloey, please, may I deliver your coal trucks for you? Skarloey smiled. Of course you can, he smiled. See, said Mr. Percival, asking wasn't as hard as you thought it was. No, it wasn't, said Rheneas happily. Skarloey smiled. He was pleased that his best friend had actually asked his permission to take his trucks. Now he could take a very long rest. Rheneas was very happy too, and he had learnt that next time he wanted to deliver someone else's train, he would always remember to ask first.